Hey guys, and welcome back to my second car review. This review is of my mom's personal 2015 Toyota Corolla LE. Now this Corolla represents the 11th generation of Toyota Corolla, which came out in 2014. The 11th generation is still running today at the end of 2018, with a 12th generation just over the horizon. Now in 2017, the Toyota did get a major update with the addition of things like Toyota Safety Sense P, which is Toyota's suite of safety systems. Now this added things like radar cruise control, autonomous city braking, and lane keep assist, along with many other features. In this video, however, I'm going to be focusing on the pre-refresh models of the Corolla, which range from 2014 to 2016. Now this model, as I said, is a 2015 LE model. There are many different trims of the Corolla, such as L, LE, LE Eco, LE Premium, S, and S+. On the Corolla, you can get at your choice of 15, 16, or 17-inch wheels, and this model is running on the 205/55 R16 tires on the base Corolla LE. Now for the rear end of all Corollas, you get normal lights for the rear, no LEDs. But as you can see in the next clip, on the front you get LED projector low beams as standard, which was kind of groundbreaking in 2014 for the compact class. Now the high beams are your standard halogen reflector bulbs along with your turn signals and parking lights, just again being standard lights. To me personally, I love the way the Corolla looks, but many people think it's just another boring compact sedan. Thank you for listening to my history of the 11th generation Toyota Corolla, and now allow me to show you what's underneath the hood. Now coming under the hood of the 11th generation Toyota Corolla, you'll find one engine option, which is Toyota's 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine. Now if you watch my 8th generation Toyota Corolla review, that may sound familiar, and that's because it is. Toyota has been using a 1.8 liter in the Corolla since 1998. Now in 2008, when the 10th generation model came out, this 1.8 did get an update to help its oil consumption issues, but it's the same very simple solution, which makes it very reliable. Now this 1.8 does have variable valve timing, just like in my 2002. Now on all models of the 11th generation Corolla, except for the LE Eco trim, the Corolla returns about 38 on the highway with a 132 horsepower and 126 foot-pounds of torque motor. Now if you get the LE Eco, you do get a little bit more power and it returns to over 40 on the highway. Now in the LE Eco, you get 140 horsepower and 128 foot-pounds of torque, which is more than even in the sporty S trim. Now in the 11th generation Toyota Corolla, you can get one of 3 transmission options. In the base L, you can choose from a standard 6-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic, which is the exact same transmission as in my 2002 Corolla that I showed before. In all other trims, you get a CVT automatic, which is becoming very standard for the class of compact sedans today in 2018. Now on the S Plus model, you could get that same 6-speed manual, but many reviewers have said that it has very long rotary throws, and you'd be better off just sticking with the CVT. Coming to the interior of the Corolla, you can see on your driver's side door panel, you have your switches for your power windows and your power locks. Below your driver's side air vent, you have your gauge dimmer switch and your power mirror switch. Moving up, you have your tweeters for your 6-speaker audio system found in the LE and up trims, and your heated rear mirror. Coming along to the steering wheel, it's just your standard urethane steering wheel in the L and LE trims, but it is leather wrapped in higher trims. Now on the left side, you have your audio controls and your Bluetooth controls on the right, along with your standard Toyota cruise control stock, and a display button. The display button controls the monochromatic gauge in the gauge cluster, which is a very simple cluster, which is your speed, tach, gas, odometer, and miles per gallon. Moving over to the center, you can see your soft touch dash surface with fake stitching, your 2 center air vents, and your digital clock. Below that is your hazard switch and your infotainment screen, which I'm going to show in a different clip. Now look at the infotainment on the Toyota Corolla. For the 11th generation, there are 3 different radio options you can get. You can either get a non-touchscreen in the L model, a touchscreen in the LE without Intune, and if you go to a higher trim of the Corolla, you can get a model with Intune. Now, this screen is the biggest problem. As you can see here, when I try to hit screen off, it automatically jumps out. The screen has become uncalibrated for the bottom corner, which is the only main issue that we've had with this car, which in 96,000 miles is good for the car, but bad for this screen. Now coming along looking at the features, because it's a non-in-tune, it's very simple. It does have a backup camera, which has your distance markers, but it does not turn with the steering wheel. It has AM, FM, CD, USB, Bluetooth audio, and auxiliary, and that's really all you have. It does show you your miles per gallon and some vehicle settings, but again, this is a very simple, bare bones radio. Moving down, you can see your tan soft touch surface and your single zone automatic climate control, which now is found in most compact sedans, but it's standard for the LE trim and up. Below your climate controls, you'll find your single 12-volt outlet, your blank switches for your heated control switch, and your USB and aux switches. Below that, this Corolla has a CVT automatic with P, R, N, D, S, and B selections. If you had an S model with the CVT, you would have a manual mode. Below the gear selector, your traction and stability control off button is there, 2 large cup holders, and a manual parking brake. Moving over, you have your blue embroidered Corolla floor mats, your simple glove box. There's a better view of the soft touch surface covering the airbag, passenger air vent, passenger tweeter mirror, and if you keep going up, you'll find the cover for the side airbags. On the roof, you have your non-lighted vanity mirror, and right next to it, you have your 2 simple incandescent bulbs for your interior lights. Finally, you have your manually dimming rearview mirror. Into the back seat of the Toyota Corolla, you'll find an absurd amount of room for the compact sedan class. This is still leading the compact sedan class even today in 2018. Now features back here are somewhat sparse, but you do have your standard cup holders on the back of the center console for the front seats. These cup holders are very similar to what I have in my 2002 Corolla. For 2015, Toyota added a center armrest with 2 other cup holders, which you can use if you don't like the ones up front. There are no rear vents, but there is a rear mat pocket on the passenger seat. The armrests are soft touch on the rear door panels, but the rest of the door panels are hard. Now look at the immense amount of legroom I have. I'm about 6 foot tall with mostly legs, and the front seat is set to my driving position, and I still have plenty of legroom and a good amount of headroom. Now one problem with the Corolla is while these seats are supremely comfortable front and rear, they hold stains really bad. And removing the stains is extremely difficult without leaving watermarks, which is what's happened to this front passenger seat. Now coming to the rear of the 2015 Corolla, where the trunk is, there are 2 ways to open it. You can either open it with a latch on the driver's side footwell, or right here pressing and holding the button on your key fob. Now the trunk will automatically raise and come to this position, and it will show you a pretty good amount of room. While not class leading, the 2015 Corolla has around 13 cubic feet of storage, which allows you to fit plenty of stuff in this car. It does have gooseneck hinges, which might crush your cargo if you're not careful, and the rear seat releases are actually inside the cabin. Now, while the rear seats don't fold completely flat, they fold flat enough to put large items in, and the opening is plenty wide. Underneath the false floor, there is a spare tire and a compact jack.